NCRP Productions presents Fallout Beyond the Rad'wood Vale. Two Towns. Episode 2.
We return now to Fallout. Last we left our apocalyptic explorers. They had just finished exploring the old mill town, where they salvaged some food, a little booze, some shotgun shells, and some junk. The reason the party is venturing south is to find the logging camp, because the village loggers have not been heard from in several days, and no more logs have floated down the river. The four of them stand just to the south of the old mill, right near the on-ramp to the 101. It's late morning, and the fog is parted, and the beams are shining down through the now thinning fog. All four of them stand shoulder to shoulder and are ready to continue further south through the Lost Coast. I'd like each of you to describe how your character would be traveling, how they walk, what they're carrying in their hand, if anything. Are they trying to make conversation, or are they being quiet? I would like to start with Lex.
Lex has been out on patrol before, being without the team's knowledge, a Brotherhood of Steel member. He's been sent out as part of his training, so he walks kind of that foot length, shoulder length apart, kind of always just generally scanning around, looking at his environment and keeping his peripherals open. His last pistol hangs on his belt on his right. His backpack and stuff where he's carrying his supplies and his junk will just be kind of slung over his left hand so he can just quickly drop it and grab with his right hand. And the combat knife hangs over his shoulder strap with his overalls covering his general travel clothes. And underneath all that is his, of course, marked uniform that he's kept hidden from everyone. He always tends to have this just stern kind of look, very serious in general.
Would you say he's taking the lead when he's walking, or does he hang to the back to oversee everyone, or does he stay in the middle where it's safer?
He would probably take point to make sure that he keeps the others safe and to keep the cargo, which is the Brahmin that we're traveling with, to make sure it can escape if need be.
Wonderful.
I take you're not too warm to a conversation.
It's a cargo Brahmin, I just realized that. Okay.
Yeah, it's cargo Brahmin.
Yeah.
It's a pack animal.
I get that.
Lex actually can get to talking. He's probably had a few conversations with Zeke, especially because it was the mill workers who found him when he was first brought in and injured, and probably has talked to Doc on more than a few occasions regarding just suturing himself when he screws up armor making and things like that.
So you've never been to my merchant stand?
Who can afford the place?
You guys don't have a terrible relationship, but I imagine you can tell easily that Lex just seems not really soft to you.
Yeah.
But are you soft potatoes?
Yeah, food's food. That's different, though. We're not.
We
there
got
yet.
some good potatoes down at Junkyard Junction.
But yeah, he seems single focused. He seems like anytime you've seen him around town, he's always either at the armory making gear, upgrading things, or just kind of sitting at the local brouhaha, just enjoying a simple drink, watching the environment. He's not very active and out and about.
And that's the official name, just so that you know, the brouhaha.
Oh, yeah.
It's the bar that's down the street from Whoopi's.
I don't get that reference.
I don't know.
It's no reference.
Oh.
That's where it is. Come on, Game Master, catch up.
All right, Phil, how would you describe yourself walking?
Phil's been around for going on 200 years. Phil just walks. I'm aware of everything around me, but I have no trouble talking. I can shut up. Sure I can. I can. No, I really can't. But generally, he's going to be engaged with whoever's where. He's going to be watching around, but not focused on any one thing. If we're told to be quiet, if we're told to direct something, if we're told to go somewhere, he can do that too. But yeah, I'm not going to have an open weapon in my hand, considering I'm carrying a switchblade and a pipe gun, but they are ready at hand.
Okay. Do you have a holster for your pipe gun?
I'm envisioning yet, even though the character art didn't have it, I'm envisioning there is some kind of a holster, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not putting it in my pants.
Yeah.
I'm old, I'm not dead.
Your waistband?
Right.
Zeke.
So, granted, this is Zeke's first big foray onto the great wide world, and Lex knows that. We've talked at length about...
How old is Zeke and how old is Lex?
Zeke is about 21.
And Lex is 20.
So you guys are around the same age, too.
We are.
Which has allowed you to bond. There's always that camaraderie with similar ages.
Yep. Well, Zeke likes to hear these stories. That's all he seems to get, since he doesn't get to experience. Ma and Pa don't let him leave Two Towns for fear of the worst happening.
Well, the
So
worst may have happened because Pa is up at the.
exactly, and Zeke is not. He follows close behind Lex. He wants to take the lead, but he doesn't quite know how yet. He's got his axe at the ready. He's got a little chokehold on the blade right now.
Nice. Patrick.
So Patrick's hanging towards the center, I guess. Now, and no one's behind him because all these guys. But he's leading Bell by the reins. As he travels, he tends to walk a little unassuming, slinging his shotgun beneath his coat so that he's not a projecting threat. Kind of tends to keep his head down, and hopefully he's not the first one to encounter trouble.
Well, are you in the front? Are you in the
In
back?
this case,
or you're not
in this
the
case, Patrick has some words for Zeke, so he's going to be trying to catch up to him. Share a little a roadside conversation.
All right. Well,
back? Does Belle keep up?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
He's not. You're not constantly pulling her away from.
No, she's-
like a dog on a walk. You're
yeah,
not pulling
she's
away
got
from.
she's got a long stride. She's a big animal. So Patrick will walk, kind of, catch up to Zeke a little bit. Walk up real politely. Say, now Zeke, I know you're having a hard time now, son, with what your paw being missing and all.
Don't call me son.
No offense, it's just a figure of speech. I just want to tell you now, we're all in this together. A trouble shared is a trouble halved, or in this case, maybe quartered. So I aim to see everyone come back from this alive and make it home safe, and that includes your paw and my sweet Belle here. So you got to understand, sometimes we just got to do what we got to do.
And what about Rootland's boy?
I'll bring them all back if I can, trust me.
All right.
This is a team effort.
Time will tell.
We're
if
on the
your words
same
ring
side
true.
here.
How old is Patrick?
Patrick he looks to be about 40, 42. In fact, around town, he often relays tales of his wife and kids back home. And he does have a wedding ring on his finger.
So the four of you are walking along the old 101. 101 is 4 lanes wide. The paint has long been worn away by the acid rain, so it's just this cracked black surface with gnarly brown roots cracking between the asphalt. To the side of you are large trees, but the green is a sickly green to them. A lot of them have lost their needles. The few that do grow are just kind of stunted little things. You understand that deeper in the forest there's patches of more lively trees that is the more desirable lumber. Around here it's what a lot of people just call gnarlwood. It's not very useful. It's very sickly and corrupted looking. The fog itself is since burned off as you guys continue walking along the old 101. It's now been about 2 hours since you left Two Towns, and you all feel sated when it comes to food. In Fallout, there are certain levels that you get as your hunger and thirst increase. The first level is full, then it goes to sated, then peckish, then hungry, and then starving. Each of these happens after a certain length of time, and consuming one food will bring you up 1 level. Now keep in mind, the difference between being full and sated is just an hour, so it's not really worth it to eat if you're only sated. But once you start getting peckish, or maybe even hungry, it might be important to start getting that food in you. So when it comes to food, you're all feeling sated right now. Additionally, you're no longer quenched, but you are hydrated.
How long have we been traveling about?
2 hours.
2 hours, okay.
So the trees, are these hanging lichen trees?
That is correct. Yeah, so the limbs that are still there, this yellow greenish lichen hangs from some of them from the humidity of the fog that rolls in, and there's not too much of a breeze right now currently either.
So they look sickly.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Do they look frightening? Is it like the nightmare forest kind of thing?
No, not frightening. And you've seen other parts of the world. You've seen true wasteland. This is not it. As sickly and kind of unnerving as these might seem, this is still far more life than many parts of the world know. The Lost Coast was spared any direct bombardment during the Great War.
I've been to places that have nevergreens.
Correct. Very apt. So you guys continue walking along, and I would like everyone to please take a perception survival roll for me.
1 success.
2 successes.
1 success.
Bell.
No.
So the 3 of you, Patrick, unfortunately you do not see this, but the three of you see far down, probably 200 yards down the highway, a small silhouette hunched over run across and like dive onto the other side of the highway into some dead grass.
Anyone else see that?
Yeah, essentially, Zeke will quickly pull out his last pistol and like put his hand
whoa,
up,
whoa,
just like
whoa.
stop, like fist up, like hand out, that very like almost military style of like, oh,
That's why I keep walking.
and then
I have no idea what he's doing.
I mean, you're not an idiot. You know what this means.
yeah, essentially tell him to stop, and then he'll kind of start like squatting in his stance and like aiming down his sights.
What is it?
What is it?
Something jumped out over across the walkway.
Yeah, I saw that. What is it?
Is it still foggy here?
It is not. The fog has since burned away.
The
so
mask
that's-
that I have off is just still around my neck, just hanging down low, so I can quickly put it back up if need be.
So you rolled 2 perception, right, Phil?
Yes.
So you know it was a person.
Pretty sure it looked like a guy. Or a gal. Or them. I'm not really sure. It looked people-like.
With that stance,
Hunched over like that? I mean, I've seen, well, other ghouls.
yeah,
Ferals.
reminds me of one of your bad cousins.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
So what do you guys do?
Well, you've seemed to take lead. What are we doing, Lex?
Yeah, while they're assessing, I'm stopping Belle from walking forward and just kind of. Now, Belle, now you just keep quiet.
We got to continue. We just got to be aware. Where there's one, there's more.
All right, so you guys start walking forward on edge now. No one's getting the drop on you at this point.
No.
You guys continue walking. You don't see any new movement. But as you get closer, you can see the grass, like, to the right, in the direction the figure jumped, moving. And you're about, in game turns, you're at medium range from where this is.
And is this on the right-hand side of the road as
Correct.
we walk? All right. So I recommend we move to the left side of the road. Give us the best distance and the most open area to fight from.
That would give us an extra range of safety, correct?
Yep.
That's not why I said it.
No. Yeah, out of character this is. In character, Lex would kind of like keeping his aim down the sights, looking at that bush. Good call. You guys go around and he's going to like signal to the team. He's going to stay where he's at, take aim, and then once he sees them kind of get behind him a little bit, he's going to call out, "Show yourself."
Okay. So the three of you, along with Belle, move to the left. You're all at long range of this now. Lex, you're still at close range. You have your las pistol pointed at the...
Where the movement, where I'm seeing that shrub bush, where I,
Wonderful.
in that relation. Yeah.
So you call out, and you hear a high-pitched coming in from in the bushes in some weird language you've never heard.
If it's language at all.
Lex is going to actually be like, on his down to sight, it's going to see that like eyebrow like perk up, just like,
Yeah.
I said, "Show yourself."
The movement, you can hear it as it's going, because the road to your guys' right is slightly sloped. You can hear whatever it is moving down the hill away from you.
When he raises his voice, Zeke is going to turn and assess the situation. Kind of.
Yeah, you see all this happening. You haven't.
Yeah, I
stopped
figured
yet.
we were walking past, but Zeke is going to stop
Yeah.
and maybe
Draw
inch forwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm drawing my shotgun if it needs to be stated.
Are you attempting to move a zone? That's more important.
Yeah, I'll be in the zone with Lex.
Okay, perfect. So you hear it moving away. What do you do?
As that point, I'm imagining Zeke moves up to my shoulder or near me.
What is it?
Something's in the bush. Can't understand it. Watch our back. It's a good place to get flanked at.
All right.
Yeah, heft your axe. You move to the edge.
I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm not going to engage because we don't need to waste time and our firefighting for this because we just fought some bugs that were already kind of a problem. We need to get there on the double. So he's just waiting. He's going to give it about 3 minutes like of a count, and then if nothing's coming out, he's going to move like the team down.
Okay. I apologize. Just to clarify, are you walking up to the edge of the highway to look down the slope? Or are
No,
you staying
no,
right where
I'm
you're
staying
at?
right where I'm at because I know it's leaving, but I think that's a decoy. I think there's something either going to come from behind us or attack me from the sides.
Okay.
And he just wants to be ready.
Everyone's kind of on edge for a little bit, and noise doesn't come back. Whatever it was trying to get away, which it did.
He's going to lower his last pistol. All right, looks like it made its way out of here.
You got it, Lex.
As you guys continue along the highway, you get equal to the point where it ran off, and the highway slopes down into have a dead grass field, and then flattens out into an open meadow, and there's a tree line another 100 yards, and you can see just at the edge of the tree line 3 figures, and they have a box between two of them, and they're dragging it into the tree line, probably about 100 yards out.
Can we all see this?
Because he's a range closer.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So I see 3 figures dragging a box, like a crate. Like, is it similar to the crate that we probably have on our Bell's back, like a cargo?
It seems to be a wood box of some sort, and you can see now clearly they're children, but they're in the skins and clothing of wild men.
Okay, Lex hasn't been out of town a lot, but has he heard tales of some of the...
You've been in town long enough to have the town been raided by wild men.
Oh, then definitely. Then I'm going to let Zeke know and the team know and be like, wild men, children.
We need to move.
All right, and then we're going to
Are we
tell...
going to attack?
Kill him while they're young.
Not killing children. Get out of here. Move.
That was my feeling as well. But
He's going to kind of like move his head and is like, no, let's keep going. They seem to... They raided whatever caravan they got.
I'm going to look up the highway, down the highway.
Okay.
You're pretty sure it came from a caravan? I mean, we haven't seen anything on the road. We haven't passed anything on the road.
They might have already taken the Brahmin and the people with it. Savages they are.
Now, Bell, calm down.
And wait, left the goods to be the last
Everybody's
thing they
having
drove
Brahmin
away.
steak tonight.
Now's not the time to be calm, Bell. Let's get her moving.
We can assess it later, but I ain't chasing children when we got men to save.
Gotta agree.
You guys continue on now. Patrick, you're kind of as the local guide in a way. You know the roads better than anyone. You've made your way to the logging camp before. As you guys continue,
Has there been reports of wild man activity? Is that something I would be concerned about while traveling to and from the logging camp?
absolutely,
Yeah.
it is the most common organized threat in the area.
Could have mentioned that before we left.
Well, you know this. Yes, yeah, you're a local.
Okay.
So, as the four of you continue to venture south, you find a bridge that spans the Great River.
I'm glad we didn't shoot children on this episode. I just need to know. There was a real hard part of me that's like, but an adventurer would wants to know what's in that box.
Exactly.
And I'm like, but Steel will not shoot children and engage children soldiers.
That's exactly why I did that. I wanted to see what you would do with that.
No.
I mean, it might not be great for your career, David, to go around killing kids and make.
Oh, that's
believe
fine.
on
They're
podcasts.
savages. It's okay.
It's like, this is what I do for my day job, and this is my night.
Killing kids.
Killing kids.
We'll wait till Josh gets back. Patrick, you've reached this bridge. You understand that just beyond this bridge is the settlement of Staffman, but that's not the way you need to go, correct?
Not exactly, but for a quick question, does the bridge itself have a name?
It does not.
Okay. So, this here is a Staffman Bridge, but we're going to be looking for an exit somewhere along the path here. I think it's right up the way on the left.
And as he says that, he kind of motions, and the highway slopes off to the left, and there's the old rail line that goes on the east side of the river. The highway crosses and then travels along the west side of the river. Patrick knows that to get to the logging camp from here on out, you guys need to follow the rail line.
All right, boys, this looks like the spot. Lace up your boots. Keep them out of the mud. It's rough going from here on out.
You guys walk down the uneven footing down to the old rail line. You guys start walking. It's, no trains have not run on this track for over 200 years, so the vegetation is grown, very claustrophobic around here. Up through the railroad ties, parts of the track have become rusted and fallen apart. There's a little bit of kind of a game trail through here, and this is mostly from the loggers who travel on foot to the site, or the caravaneers, like Patrick himself, going to and from the logging site, which is not too far out.
On the way down the exit, I'm just going to kind of glance towards the direction of Staffman with a bit of a longing expression before looking back towards the group and following them.
What are you looking at, Patrick? What do you see?
Oh, nothing. We might just want to stop by for supplies on the way back if we have time. Just
Where?
a thought.
At Staffman.
Oh, they got all kind of things there. You never know what you could find.
Would there be any type of, because in most Fallout, it's a post-apocalyptic, blown-out wasteland, ruined cities. Would there be like berries or things that we could scavenge, flowers that we could start trying to supplement from our squished
absolutely
rat
can-
root?
It's called foraging,
Tarberries.
and absolutely you can.
I'm imagining that takes time away just as well.
We don't got time for that, Lex.
Yeah,
You
you see.
understand that the camp's probably about another 8 hours of walking away, which, I mean, it's not that far, but it's almost, almost noon. So you're not going to be getting there unless you guys want to
hoof.
keep walking even after dark, which is
What time of year is it?
not recommended in the Lost Coast.
Nah, not with these trees. Actually, you'll see Lex kind of like stop as like the team begins to move, and he'll look at Patrick. Is there any good rest stops?
Between here and the logging camp, or?
Just gonna see him nod.
Oh, not much along them ways. Nope. We're on our own from here now. From here down there.
Well, then
When
we
they
push.
go up, do loggers mostly take horseback? They going on
They take-
Oh, if every logger would have a horse, I'm sure they would be a much happier people.
The village has a boat.
Okay, so they're not even going up the same way as we are.
This trail is used for whatever reason. People have to leave the site early because they go up for about 2-week stints, or caravaneers coming up to bring alcohol and things like that to them, fresh food.
Well, I think we find a place to rest before it gets too dark.
We're not going to just push up there, push on through.
You want to double time it? Think Belle's gonna make it through these woods and not
Oh,
break something?
Belle will outlast all of us if she gets a chance, but I think we're kind of on a time crunch here, and I'll glance towards Zeke and I'll say, I think there'll be time for rest after we investigate this camp up here.
For the first time, I agree with Patrick.
Now, that's not the first time. Just last week, you know, I heard you really enjoyed one of my muteberry pies.
I stand corrected. The first time today.
Oh, all right. I'll take it.
Great.
You know, I've never got to try one of those pies. Maybe when we get back.
You gotta stop sleeping in, Phil.
They sell out quick now.
Phil, that's the type of talk that gets men killed.
What? Are you ready to kill him because he asked for a pie?
No, ever, goddamn, he's going the other way.
It's the out of character. It's the you're raising fucking death flags. Just be like, when I get back, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna have that pie.
I've never had mute fruit pie before.
Yeah, no, but again, I love it because he doesn't want to explain it because he's like, this is the military talk of like, hey, when you leave,
Everyone else is like, did you just threaten me?
that's it. He just says it and kind of like turns and begins walking.
Love it.
I'm going to look at Zeke, shake my head.
What did you say to him?
I'm really not sure. I thought it was about pie.
He must not like pie.
Now, Zeke, you'll catch more bloat flies with honey than with vinegar. I mean, you ought to be cognizant of your fellow companions here.
Oh, he's cognizant. He was checking in on me.
If y'all say so.
So you guys continue walking along the old rail line. Another 3 hours go by, and the clouds above are starting to form and become a little dark. It's not good because rain here is acid rain.
So I'm gonna mention again, Patrick. Any ideas of a shelter of any sort? Odd cabin.
There might be a
Possibly
few shacks up and down the path, I'd imagine, but the tree canopy provides looking up. Is there did you say they were shriveled trees and there's no leaves? Are they?
There are patches of it, but
Yeah.
it's not as consistent as a evergreen forest you might imagine.
Right.
There are sections where there's a little more growth that are, probably in places along the slopes where water flows more frequently, so it can wash away a lot of the radioactive fallout.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Phil. I'd say let's pick up the pace. If the rain picks up too much, we might have to take shelter.
As we're kind of moving, I want to keep an eye out. These trees are enormous, correct? Like
Some of them are.
some of them are. Are there any that are like big enough or like hollowed out because they've been struck by lightning or creature, where maybe we can find some not perfect shelter, but at least passable shelter?
You
Big
want to
termites.
spend a luck point?
You know what? Yeah, I do.
Okay.
How does that work?
So you just subtract the luck point. As you guys are walking along the old rail, the clouds are starting to get a little dark, and you hear the first of raindrops hitting the dirt around you, and your anxiety starts to get up a little bit, and especially when you feel it touch the back of your neck. It doesn't sting, but you understand that even though you might not feel it, it's still dangerous. Everything back in Two Towns is very much sealed from the rain for a reason.
Now, unless we all want to start looking like Phil over here, I think we should find some shelter.
No, hold on a sec. What am I going to look like?
You'll be fine.
And you guys kind of are like walking a little more worriedly. The rain is picking up and starting to trickle on you when all of a sudden, Lex, you see one of these old growth trees that's, at the top pretty gnarled, and there's what's called a cat face to it, which is a hollowed out section of the tree that's just about shoulder high to a person. You see it that you could crouch through.
Yeah, at this point, Zeke's got his backpack over his head, trying to shield himself.
He's going to point it out. Looks like there's shelter over there. Let's go check it out.
Wait, the tree? We're gonna go stay in the tree.
Hey, if you want to stand out here and take a new bath, go right ahead. You smell like rot anyways.
I love that out of nowhere, it's just Lex hates Phil.
So mad.
I mean, to be fair, the Brotherhood doesn't really care for mutants very much.
It doesn't, yeah, they're very...
All right.
Lex, I'm sensing some hostility. Possibly you're getting concerned, maybe worked up a bit. I've got a squeezy toy over here somewhere. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm pretty sure.
Lex, now's not the time.
Well, I left it back in the... When we get back.
As he's just kind of like shaking his head and moving forward, just like, I gotta get these guys to safety.
Okay.
So, like, would it be appropriate for a survival roll to see, like, where we'd have the best chance of taking shelter from the
It
rain?
would be required, but he spent the luck point to kind
Oh.
of...
I was going to say, it would be the tree.
Right. The tree is
Obvious
ideal.
plot hook tree, originally.
Okay,
Or plot-driven tree, I guess it
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
the plot tree.
Let's
Go to the plot tree, everyone.
It's so much better than plot armor.
So, I'm assuming all of you try to get inside of it.
Try to hunker down, yeah.
I'm gonna try to see one, if make sure it's clear that there's no like,
Other
anything
Yagwai or anything in
living
there.
Yeah.
If there's no markings and it looks good and the rain still isn't bad, is it good enough that I can get Belle in there? Because we're gonna need some carry weight.
Belle cannot fit in there. It's just enough for the four of you to sit shoulder to shoulder, and like with your backs up against the wall of the tree. Belle just has to be standing outside in the rain. Luckily for you, you know Belle is unaffected by the
So
rain.
it's just like a rad storm, not like a acid rainstorm.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'll get in and be like, we can pull Belle close and hopefully try to keep the warmth in.
Okay.
Do we know how long these are? These like, do these pass quickly, or do they stay around for hours, or is it just kind of variable?
I mean, if it stared rain right now, would you know how long it's going
Roll
to be?
no,
it's not the
meteorology.
apocalypse right now.
Your roll for meteorology. Yeah, what's your intelligent science? Look at your Doppler radar and you tell me.
Pull, licks his finger. Yeah, it's gonna all of a sudden. Yeah, that's gonna burn.
So the four of you, Phil, are you trying to go in? You don't necessarily have to go in because you are immune to radiation.
He's out there playing in the puddles, like.
So again, I still have clothing. And
Right,
other
you still don't
shit
want to be
that's-
wet. I'm just
Right.
saying it's not as urgent for you.
I'm gonna make sure they all get in. So, Patrick, I get that Belle's probably gonna be okay, but what about the stuff? Should we shake the pack and saddle and
Yeah, that's a
everything
good
off?
point. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just to be clear, anything that's organic food related, I'm definitely taking in with me, which includes my stash of agricultural goods.
Yeah, you have a couple
my mute
like
fruit,
burlap
silk
sacks.
beans, razor grains, potatoes, my beer.
Zeke will offer a helping hand, if you so choose to
So-
take it.
More hands makes less work. There,
As you
Zeke.
were-
I appreciate it.
Undoing the belts off of Belle, the rain is now starting to come down a lot more, and you know, pitter patter around, and the ground is quickly turning to mud. You get the last of the bags of food inside of the tree. You're all kind of clustered around. You're dripping a little bit. Lex, were you helping get the saddlebags off?
Yeah, once I kind of saw that they were going to be sitting out, saw the rain coming down, yeah, immediately was like, let's go, and started fire brigading it.
I would like each of you to roll 2 d6s for me.
Oh.
And tell me if you go any Pit Boy icons.
2.
1.
One.
So, Phil, you're good. You don't need to because you're immune to radiation.
0.
Lex, you got 0. Zeke, you gain 2 radiation damage. And Patrick, you gain 1. As the radiation from being out in the rain, you didn't get any radiation.
I know. Thank goodness.
But Zeke got a pretty heavy dose of it.
Standing out in the rain. Thanks a lot, Patrick.
Well, I was
I got rained on too. Is that was he? We had to save the food. We don't
All right,
have
I'm
to
gonna just
send
remind
the
you that I
water back
offered to
hungry.
bring the stuff in, and you guys just ran past me and went and got stuff. I mean, it
He's
doesn't
like,
generally
guys,
affect me.
it doesn't bother me. That's, thanks for speaking up now, Phil.
You know, I came on this trip as a friendly gesture to the rest of you and make sure that the campmen,
What?
the ones that were up at the timber falling area, that take care of them. And all I'm getting is, Lex, is there a problem?
criticize.
Yeah. You just see like Lex kind of like, because he's like, I imagine everything's there. He's probably sitting on like one of the burlap bags, just kind of like sitting there like looking down at his gun, checking his equipment, and he just looks up like quirk-eyed at you. What? You want a rad kebab for something?
Zeke is gonna stand in between the two.
There's not much space.
Yeah,
Like it's like you shuffle.
He's gonna squeeze.
Yeah.
Literally squeeze in between the two. He's kind of nauseous right now. Phil, don't worry about Lex right now. He's just a little testy.
Actually, I'm a little worried about you. You don't look so good.
Oh, I'll be
You look
fine. I'll be
great.
fine. Don't you worry about me.
All right. You say something, because you're not going to be able to travel if you get much worse than that. That's my professional opinion.
Maybe.
Tato a day keeps a doctor away there, Zeke.
Well, to sell you this Tato.
Let me tell you about it.
I've been feeling less satiated myself.
Yeah. So great. Thank you, Phil. So at this point, you've all become peckish.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Yeah, I just need a little bit of food in me.
Lex definitely needs the food.
I'm looking around with this bag full of food. Like,
If I remember correctly, you were talking about potatoes.
Yeah, you got any of those?
oh yeah, let me see what I got here. I'll reach in my pack and I'll grab 3 potatoes and pass out 1 to each of them. I'm gonna grab a bundle of razor grain for Belle and a mute fruit for myself.
Nice. I love it.
Nice.
So, is that a tato?
I think you know what a tato is there, Phil.
I do. I thought we were all eating potatoes.
I'll toss it to him.
I'll toss the potato back.
I'm like peeling mine, like eating off pieces like an apple with my combat knife, and I just seem to just, like shake my head.
You know, I really like Tato.
Just as soon as mine.
Does anyone have any damage to their character?
I meant to ask that. Nobody got hit by the
Okay.
I don't think so.
Just
So
the
certain
radiation.
foods will, when you eat them, will bring back hit points. No one has any hit point lost. However, once again, Phil, you don't have to worry about this. But everyone else, you're eating just raw food, and it's not preserved pre-war food. There's going to be a chance of radiation with it.
God damn.
I'd build us a campfire if we had more room in here.
Yeah, mute fruit. There it is. So, the 3
Could be
humans,
eating rad roach.
please roll a 1d6 for me. And if you let me know if you roll a Pip-Boy icon.
I'm just gonna say, if we pull the Brahmin up closer, we can use her as a windscreen.
Yeah,
and
she is being used as sort of a
heat
opening.
blunt.
To the, No, that's how she's set up. Yeah. She's blocking
no,
off the
right,
entrance.
right now she's got her ass in this. I'm thinking the side, better coverage.
So, anyone who rolled a Pip-Boy icon takes 1 radiation damage.
I'm
So, Lex and Zeke both took 1 radiation damage from eating the irradiated potatoes.
Thanks, Patrick.
So the
You're right,
radiation
the fruit
effect.
here's
Because I was hungry, I didn't make you eat nothing. Now, and the radiation impact is immediate? Like we can see this immediately, or is this a slower thing?
You can feel it. In game, how it works is it reduces your maximum HP. So whatever your maximum is, for example, Zeke, what's your maximum HP?
12.
So right now you have 3 radiation damage, so now your max is 9.
Yep.
Right, we're not all walking around with Pip Boys showing how much radiation damage.
Yeah.
Actually, none of us are.
Pip Boys.
That would be something you should trade for.
That would be worth a lot of caps.
If wishes were fishes, we'd all be up to our snouts in trout there, Phil.
Look, yeah. Also, we were better traders.
The 4 of you, I'm assuming, stay in the tree for as long as this rain's going to go.
Yeah.
Well, the rain continues for the rest of the afternoon, and soon dark starts to come, and rain hasn't let up. You guys are getting a little claustrophobic.
One of you guys want to trade me spots? I'm getting tired of looking at this part.
Some people pay good money for that, damn it.
So, look, the tree, so far, I've seen the Mona Lisa. It kind of switched into the Scream. Yeah, I need something else to look at.
You want to stand next to Lex?
No, I'll move somewhere else, thanks.
All right.
You guys all kind of stand up and each take 1 step to the right.
Just circle.
It's hard because you can't really lay down in here either. Like, you
No.
gotta sit, but all your feet are kind of touching in the middle.
Yeah.
Dark is now coming upon you. Does anyone have a light source?
I don't think I do.
Negative.
No.
I looked real quick because my writing is terrible. I thought I had torch clothing, but it's touch clothing. So, nope, I don't have any light source.
Cool.
It's gonna get real dark real fast.
So, the darkness soon starts to roll in, and, well, becomes mighty quiet, as no one really wants to talk anymore. Everyone please take a perception survival roll for me.
Oh no. 2 2 successes.
I got 1 success, and it's a 1 under a...
It doesn't matter. If it's a 1,
Yeah.
it's 2 successes, period.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. So
Yeah, and
you got how many successes?
2.
2. Perfect.
1 success.
I have 2 as well.
So 2, 2, 2, and 1.
Are we loading any AP?
Yep, correct. So this is a DC of 1, so that's 3 action points go into the pool.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, fill them up.
All 4 of you hear a... Out in the rain, Belle is kind of laying down on her belly, and she stands up and kind of like, you hear the bell around her neck kind of... and she kind of tugs against the rope. You all recognize the howl of mongrels.
So, Patrick, that's a rather unfortunate adornment on the Brahmin. Maybe we take that off.
I think they know we've been here for a little while. They just waited till nightfall to launch their
What-
attack.
What possibly makes you think that?
Well, because we've been here for a little while and she's been jangling the whole way.
Question. Lexwood, there are wild men living out in this wilderness. Have they ever used mongrels?
Absolutely.
That's where Lex thought goes, is he's kind of sitting there and he's like, where there's mongrels, there's wild men. And he'll again pull out his las pistol and kind of like go to like a kneeling position if he can get down far enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming up from the squat position to the kneeling position?
Going down from a like squatting position, like essentially we're sitting on supplies. I'm assuming his head's like a little hunched over, so he's just gonna like kneel down. It's going from like a squat to a kneel.
So you're all hunched in there, weapons drawn. Belle, you can see, is becoming visibly panicked as she's kind of left out in the there.
how
She's
is-
pulling against the rope.
Is it still raining?
Still heavily raining.
And that bell is going crazy.
Soon, you all start to
I don't
hear
like
out in the
this.
darkness. It's pitch black to you, by the way. True darkness. So all you can do is hear steps in mud, multiple. And you hear kind of a little bit of breathing happening outside. The Brahmin you hear, you don't see. And it kind of tugs against the rope for a second.
I'm going to try to peek around her, see what I can see from the entrance. It's raining, it's dark.
So take another perception survival. If you're trying to look, this is a DC of 3. Don't forget you have action points that you can choose to spend right now to add to this roll.
Perception survival.
Yep.
Nope, didn't get anything. Essentially, Lex is just aiming into that dark rain, that static rain out there. And if you got any type of torches, lights,
Didn't we discuss this earlier?
Got nothing.
are there any like branches? Oh, fuck, they're all wet now. It's too late.
What about that gun of yours?
We get one good light up, but it ain't gonna keep the stars out.
I mean, that's something.
Could end up hitting the cow. Or sorry, could end up hitting the Brahmin.
You can feel around the Brahmin to make the shot.
Yeah, isn't the Brahmin just like right at the entrance, so we could like
Yeah.
basically peek on over her?
You can use her as a brace.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially,
no.
what Lex
How
is
did
doing
this-
is
how did we
taking
get to
aim,
this point?
and it's shitty. He's waiting for the Brahmin to get bit, and then he's going to shoot the thing that's biting it.
Yeah, she'll
That's
survive
essentially his plan.
Okay. So that's your thought, is you want to wait until it gets attacked. I thought you have 2 options, basically. You can either just fire a blind shot, just
Yeah.
illuminate for a second, or you can wait until you think something's there.
Yeah,
And use Bell as bait.
That's essentially he's using Bell's bait. He doesn't have a lot of ammo. He doesn't want to start just firing off rounds unless they're close, because he doesn't want to give out this position.
Yep.
That's what he was hoping for. Essentially, his team doesn't have any way to help him, so he's just like, all right, well, I can keep us safe, and it's going to suck to lose the cow, the Brahmin, but that's what we got.
Can't believe we don't have light.
So you say that, and you can hear close in. And then the steps in the mud. You hear a and you fire. So I want you to take a shot. It's a DC of 2. Because normal defense of the creature is 1, but it is obscured, so DC goes up by 1 more. It's at close range for you.
Take AP.
Use an AP.
I did take aim, right? Or would that have counted?
Well,
Well, he did. He's been aiming the whole time down his sights. Yeah.
Well, I'm aiming at where she is, and as long as something's near, it's just
Yep.
quick.
So you're going to get a reroll of these D20s. Are you spending any action points?
Yeah, how much we think? At least one?
Yeah, spend one. You get a
Spending
reroll.
1 action point, so you're getting 3 D20s.
Ooh! I did get a 20, but I
Reroll.
got an 8 and 9, which are both successes. Sorry,
You can reroll one.
I'm going to reroll my 20
Okay.
or 17.
That's something.
Okay, so 2 successes.
Yep.
So it's a hit. So now roll for damage.
Yep. So my damage is 4.
Good. Do you want to spend any extra ammo with your fire rate to add extra d6s to this roll?
Not for this. Again, I'm trying to make sure I don't hit the cow.
Yeah, well, you're not hitting the cow.
You already didn't complicate.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You could have hit the cow if you kept the 20.
That's true. No.
Okay.
Because it's going to be 4 damage. Maybe more, maybe less.
It's Bell.
No, it's a bell thing. 2 Pip Boys and a hit. So that would activate my piercing.
Okay, perfect. So each Pip Boy is 1 damage.
So 3 damage.
3 total damage.
An armor piercing of
2.
So you fire your laser pistol. It sears through the night, and you can see a mongrel dog with its fangs in the haunches of Bell. And you hit it in the cycle, and lets go. As it flashes, you all see in a red illumination 8 mongrel dogs all closing in. Their glowing eyes reflect in the darkness as they all freeze for a moment, like a flash of lightning, and they all just freeze, and they're all looking at you, and they're all looking back.
I've heard if you punch them in the nose, they run.
All right, so
Punch 'em
at
all.
at this point we're in initiative.
Yep.
So before anything, the mongrel dog did attack Bell. I'm going to roll for that real quick.
Yep.
I have Bell's stat line in front of me here.
Nice.
We're not
Mongrel dog did not do anything to Bell. He
Got
rolled,
shot too quick.
He rolled. Yeah, basically.
Was that the same one that he shot?
It is.
Okay.
There's 8, including the one you shot.
Is that one still up?
It, in the moment you shot, it like rolled off to the side, and now it's blackness again.
Copy that. Perfect.
Okay, so Patrick,
So we can't shoot during the shot. Like, we are all aiming.
that was a
at
surprise round. So now we're at the top of the initiative with Patrick.
So none of us are going to have visibility.
Well, it's all obscured. You know their last position, so you can take shots, but this is all at that +1 DC. It is a DC of 2.
We can wait till they get closer.
I'll take a shot at the next closest one. We're all in close range at this point, right?
Yep. Yeah, they're all kind of closing in on the cave.
I'm gonna let the one that was hit slink off into the darkness, and I'll shoot at the next most threatening one. Is more of like a reactive, stay off my Brahmin approach than a strategic focus fire approach.
Yep. Okay, so fire away.
Nice.
Ooh.
1 crit and 1 hit.
So how many successes?
So 3.
So 3 successes.
Yeah.
DC of 2, so 1 extra, so the group gets an action point back. And why don't you roll for damage for me?
All right.
His fire rate for, I believe, for his gun is 0, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so he can't.
Yeah, I
add
can't
any.
do that, but I did take Rifleman perk this level up, so I do get 1 extra. So I do get 6 damage instead of 5 on small arms with a 2 or less rate of fire. So,
Oh my goodness.
so I got 1, 2, 3, and these count as 1 other than their effects,
Correct,
right?
yes.
So 7 total damage and 4 pit points.
Does your gun have any special effects?
It does. So what it does is it has spread and vicious, and the way these interact is kind of confusing, but vicious adds 1 damage per pit boy rolled, and spread hits another hit location for half the roll damage for each pit boy roll. Now, the half the roll damage does not include the damage bonus of the vicious, right? So the damage is 7, the vicious makes it 11, but then it does half of 7 rounded down, which is 3, to 4 other body part locations.
Oh my god.
Well,
Because of spread.
I'm going to tell you right now, your base damage was enough to
Okay.
waste the poor creature. So you, step up into the hole of the tree, and there's a flash of light again, this one white light, and it's only the briefest moment, but you just see, in one moment there's light, and the next there's just an explosion of gore, as a mongrel dog is blown to bits.
Yeah, I thought we were taking cues from the rad roach thing. We gotta eat, guys.
So next is Lex.
Minor action to take aim for when the light hit up. Where is the next nearest one that can hit?
They're all kind of just spread around
Yeah.
the tree line.
Okay, and then just going to take another shot.
Okay?
I'm not going to add a point, so I have to get 2 successes.
You do. DC of 2.
Let's see if I can do it. 2 successes. I got a 10 and a 3. The 3 for my energy weapons is tagged, so does it match or less?
So
right?
it's a critical
Crit.
success then, so that's 3
Crit.
successes.
Perfect.
And
That was slicker than a sunset
remember, you have
sarsaparilla
aim.
there, Phil.
Yep.
Or-
Aim allows me to
reroll the
reroll.
10.
So essentially, as I'm taking aim, it lights up, wham, shoots out a second after it, hitting another one that it looks like it's approaching near Bell. Keep him suppressed, fellas! And I'm gonna like lean back to give room for everyone else to like pot shot around.
Roll for damage.
Ooh, thank you. One hit with a Pip Boy.
Okay.
So pierce 1.
You blow the ear off one. Phil.
I'm going to be focused on another one as we got those couple of flashes.
Yep, yeah.
I'm gonna
You guys are getting a good idea where they're at as everyone's unloading into them.
Taking aim, I'm going to shoot the pipe gun.
Okay.
I'm going to re-roll the 20 and successfully do nothing. Lose ammo.
And you're re-rolling because you aimed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't forget to be taking ammo away, everyone who's shot.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
And Zeke's gonna pull out his untrusty pipe gun and take his shots.
Okay.
It's not
DC
really
of 2.
untrusty. It's unreliable.
Yeah.
And one success.
So it goes wide, doesn't hit any of the dogs. The mongrel hounds are going to go now. As they start howling and you can hear them coming in. Close. So I'm not going to specify how many are attacking because you guys can't see.
Nope. We have a Brahmin door in the way. We're good.
Wait.
Have
So-
you pushed Belle aside?
No, you can't push her. Look how big she is.
Right. So we have a Brahmin
She
door
goes
in
where
the way.
she wants
Perfect.
to go.
So a few of them are going to go after Bill.
I hope your medical knowledge extends to veterinarian sciences.
You know, I mean, most things, blood's all the same and all that. So, yeah, not at all.
You got blood, Phil?
You hear outside in the darkness. As the hounds are leaping upon Belle's back. All of a sudden, you guys hear as they're weaving between its legs and coming into the burrow and attacking inside.
Ugh.
They're going to attack Zeke.
I could probably fix Zeke.
First one's going to miss.
All right.
There's going to be 2 attacking you right now because you're the closest to the door, I'm assuming, because
Yeah.
you're last to go.
Yeah.
That second one's going to be 2 successes. He only needs 1. Your defense is 1, correct?
Yep.
So it is going to be 4 dice, and since I rolled 1 extra, he's going to be taking that extra damage point because
Alright.
it's a physical attack.
Rate of fire for the teeth.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, guns, you can add extra damage by increasing your rate of fire. With melee attacks, you increase your damage by extra successes instead of action points. Zeke, let me roll for your hit location here. This is going to be to your left leg. Can you please take 7 damage?
Oh. And Zeke's
No,
dead.
no.
As a mongrel dog latches in and starts dragging you out of the burrow into the mud and rain.
What?
So Zeke, you are outside of the burrow now. You all heard the dog go in there, and you heard Zeke go, ah! Ah! And you could hear his voice grow distant as he gets pulled out of it.
Oh.
Top of the round, Patrick.
Oh man, stuck in between a rock and a hard place here.
You're not torn. Zeke's torn.
Glancing between Belle and the hole underneath her legs through which Zeke was only recently dragged, and I'll quickly act, and what I want to do is I want to sort of jump over her back and look over her at whatever's down there, hopefully trying to get a glimpse of whatever's dragging Zeke off.
Yeah, you can't see anything. It's still pitch black out. So you're just reaching over it and you're firing blind.
Yeah, okay, well, I don't want to hit Zeke. I mean,
Just don't roll a complication.
okay,
Easy as that.
here we go.
Look, you're either shooting Zeke, you're
Take
shooting
one of
Bell,
these
or you
four.
just shooting
Actually,
nothing.
that kind of, but I can re-roll 1 because of trigger discipline. Okay, so hopefully,
That's
yeah,
unfortunate.
that's not right.
Can I borrow that?
Hopefully, this will work.
Hey.
All right.
Nice.
And if I re-roll the 14, I might get a complication. I mean, I think the 2 are pretty good. I might just stick with the 2.
The 2 will hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the 2.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Lex wants to live life on the
So-
edge.
What's the damage of your shotgun?
It's 5 plus 1.
An
so
expedient
6.
victory
So I'm only-
is a sure victory.
3 with 2 Pip Boys, and then 2 Pip Boys. So 4 Pip Boys. So that's a total of 9 damage, plus spread if necessary.
You stand over Belle and you fire, and there's a mongrel dog hanging from the side of Belle's right flank, fangs into her side, like tearing back and forth, and you and blasts the mongrel hound off of there.
Oh, damn.
Just
I was going for the one.
the back
dragging
half
Zeke,
goes
but I'll
cartwheeling
take
away
it.
into the woods. Lex.
I'm going to take aim as that minor action because it lights up again. Seeing Patrick kind of go high, I'm going to look low and see where Zeke got pulled. Aim to where I saw the creature is. That last second, just move it up so it's a little bit further back and hopefully try to hit it.
Okay.
Not Zeke. Trying to hit the wolf or the mongrel.
Use it. Zeke's
Yeah.
life's at stake.
Yeah, this is bad. We need to finish this. I'm going to spend 1 action point to get an extra d20. Thank goodness I did, because I have 2 successes. I'm going to re-roll that 20 I got for my third.
Yes, please.
And I got a 4. So I got 3 successes.
All right. So get that action point back.
My God.
Return on investment.
Worth it.
And roll that damage.
I got a double, a single, and an action, so 4 damage with a pierce 1.
There's a... As you fire the laser pistol in the night, everything's illuminated red, and the mongrel hound gets hit in the side, and it lets go of Zeke.
In that split second where it lights up, can I take a quick count of how many mongrels I see still?
So you see 4. You think the 2 that you hit earlier ran off.
Gotcha. And then I'll call out as I finish it. Zeke's out there. 4 of them are around.
Right here, Lex.
Phil?
So I also, at the point when I saw him pull out, would have gone down low. So I'm just going to shoot at that level. I'm going to have taken aim.
Yep.
So go from there. I'll re-roll the 12. Woo! And that was totally worth it. I have 4 successes.
So what did you roll?
I rolled an 8, a 9, and a 2. And my skill is 9.
Yes.
And I'm tagged in it.
Wonderful. And it's a tag skill for small guns?
Correct.
Awesome. So how many successes?
I'm sorry, I am not tagged in it. I have 3 successes.
Okay. So 1 extra.
Wrong thing. So 1 extra.
And roll for damage for me.
Okay. So, and for the pipe gun, on this roll, I am going to, rate of fire is 2, so I'm going to spend what to increase the damage?
More ammo.
So I'm going to spend a second ammo to get one more die, right?
Yep.
I have 6 total damage.
All right. The pipe pistol rings out in the night. Hits another mongrel hound. You hear them all kind of... Zeke, you're out in the mud. Seems like you have something you want to do.
Yeah, I want to crawl back underneath.
Yeah.
Frantically crawling back to the hole.
Yeah, you're
That's a minor
you're
action.
you're covered in mud. Your leg is in screaming pain. You hear coming out from the stump or the tree, and you hear the mongrel hounds behind you going as they flee into the dark. As you guys have wounded most of the pack, they frayed and disappear, and you crawl your way back into it, covered in mud.
Phil, help!
Again, right here. Okay, so we've already discussed no light. All right, so hold still. I'm not getting fresh. I'll start feeling around and seeing what I can do.
Yeah, Zeke, can you roll me a d6, please? Okay, you don't take any radiation from being pulled out into the rain again.
Hot diggity.
So tell me what I'm going to do here. So I have medic, which allows me to re-roll the
So here
first
you
aid.
Yeah,
And I'm going to roll
actions,
first aid. First aid is right here on this page.
Yeah, first aid. So it's going to be an intelligence medicine test with a difficulty equal to the number of injuries the patient has. He has no injuries currently. Actually, I take that back.
I do.
You took 7 damage. Your armor absorbed 1 of it, which means you took 6. Greater than 5 or greater. So please roll a location die for me. Actually, we
Well, we
already
know
did.
it's the leg.
We already know it's the leg. So your left leg is crippled.
Oh boy.
The DC for your test, Phil, is a DC of 1.
You can
When
heal
you
the
do
injured
this
later.
roll, you can do one of 3 things. You can stabilize a dying person, which he is not dying. You can heal hit points, or you can treat 1 injury.
Stop the bleeding, Phil. We'll split it up later on.
Don't tell me my job. I got this. So I'm going to use the 3 action points there.
Nice.
My newly raised medicine and intelligence. And I get to re-roll, thankfully, because I'm a medic. That 20 gets to be a re-roll, and nope. So I have a single success endeavoring to treat the injury.
Well, the DC is 1, so you succeed. No extra. So your leg is no longer crippled.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he
So
doesn't
I'm
get
thinking
to
we
choose?
split it here and we put this part back in, and we probably don't need that skin.
I thought he
So
got-
we mess it up. I think you're going to be able to walk on this.
I thought he got to choose between healing hit points or...
He did, but
Okay.
the
And I
leg,
did. I chose the injury.
the leg is more important than the hit points. Because you get hit points
I don't
back.
know. He has like 3 or less hit points depending on how much radiation he suffered.
All right, listen, Patrick. When you're the doctor, you can tell me what to do. And when you have light, you can tell me where to go. For now...
Would you guys
I do
stop
like-
yelling? I'm in so much pain right now.
You're gonna see like Lex lean over you, like with.
No, we're not. It's dark.
Is it dark
You're gonna
enough that we
hear.
can't even see her hands in front of her face?
It may be the barest of silhouettes.
All right. Essentially, you're gonna feel a hand on your shoulder, and you're just gonna hear Lex. You're gonna be all right. You earned your first blood.
How do you know about that, Lex? How do you know?
Because it hurts.
He's got a good point there. It's going to be much like your first love. When she goes, it's going to hurt.
Out of character, how do stim packs work in this game? Because we all have one.
You're going to be able to use your first aid once per injury. The stim pack can be used in addition in the moment to combine 2 actions in one. In this case, it makes no difference whether it's used at the same time as them treating it or afterwards. So, Phil, you have... What do you got?
I was just going to say, so using the stim pack, with the first aid major action, you may administer a stim pack as part of the action.
Right.
The patient regains 4 hit points immediately, as per the
Plus
stim
the
pack.
effect of...
In addition to any other effects, and any AP spent to heal additional health points heal twice as much.
So as I'm like whispering, like, hey, you feel pain. I'm gonna reach into my pack, feel that needle-like things. I can't see it. I know to uncap it, and I'm gonna like feel where my hand is on a shoulder, and then, you're gonna feel real good in about a second.
Oh, what did you give me, Lex?
It's just a good old little stim pack.
I'm still keeping an eye out for Brahmin eating wolves.
So, that gives me 4 back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Plus, if you make the roll, you can also give him additional for which we don't have. But if you make the roll, we would have potentially AP.
Right.
I wouldn't. My
You're not going to
character.
make the first aid roll? All right.
Nah, he's just...
No, this is. I am, because again, I can't see. I'm assuming Doc did everything he could. I'm just helping him cut the pain.
So, you guys spend the rest of your miserable evening inside this tree. Sometime during the night, the rain stopped, and you guys awaken. It's kind of the first light coming through. You all are not well rested, unfortunately.
There's a chart for that, too.
You are just simply rested. There is a benefit to being well rested. You guys do not have it, unfortunately.
Not sleep in a bed.
So you guys slept for greater than 6 hours.
I don't know, would that stim pack keep me up?
No.
So everyone's HP is fully restored after 6 hours of rest. As you guys look outside of the tree, you can see Belle still alive. She's got some claw marks and a few bite marks on her haunches. In the mud, there's gore and blood and stains and things like that. The bodies aren't there anymore. They probably got dragged away by the other members of the pack.
Yeah.
There goes the food.
Yep. There's a couple bullet holes in nearby trees where some pipe guns missed earlier, and you guys kind of assess. And the rain has stopped. It's still overcast, but no more rain. What do you guys do?
Oh, Patrick, she doesn't look too bad. Looking
Yeah,
over here,
I'm
most of these are
assessing
just
Belle's
superficial
wounds
scratches.
If any blood needs to be stifled a little bit, then I'll kind of...
Yeah, you kind of take one of your old rags and you're kind of
Yeah.
dabbing out.
It's not Patrick, that's not the way you do it. You don't push the blood back in.
Well, where else is it going to go?
But just, she's going to be fine. Let it dry over, let it scab. She'll be good.
As I come out, cranking my neck, checking my armor, making sure everything is good, nothing burned through, kind of looking at my team, assessing their armor for them. I'm going to walk over to Patrick. Is there anything I can do to help?
Patrick's a little surprised by Lex's offered help. He kind of, provides a cursory pat down of himself, and he says, I think I'm good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Lex. I appreciate it. You did real well back there, You'd make yourself a really good caravan guard if you ever want a change of occupation. I know a couple drivers could get you set up on a really good job at some point. Just let me know.
You see Lex kind of like stare at you for a second, and then he kind of like smirks. Not a half bad shot yourself. Haven't seen hit like that in quite a long time. And then he's gonna pat Belle. You did good, girl. You did good.
I haven't seen shots like that since the NCR tore into the Brotherhood and just
Hey,
destroyed them.
No. We don't got to go there.
Lex,
God dang it, Phil.
Remember, we don't know.
yeah. No, it's a very good comment.
And
Lex
Phil
actually,
was down there at that
you
time.
just like Lex is just like walking and then just like kind of like actually like you hear his like foot hit against like one of the roots.
Five
It's like,
steps backwards.
God dang it.
Zeke's the last one out of the hole because he's a little bit groggy from the effects of the stim and limping out, bracing himself against the tree.
Hey, Patrick, is Lex even going the right way?
I mean,
He is.
we know where we're going at this point. So.
Remember,
you know where we're going.
hey,
Yeah, it's along the rail line. He's
you
following
put,
the rail line.
you put your hand on the L hand on the wood when you came in, and then you put it on the opposite side when you leave, so it's that way.
How's it
Additionally,
feel, Zeke?
as you guys are coming out of the tree, you're all peckish again, as it's been over 8 hours since you last ate.
And we have no mongrel meat for breakfast.
We do have cram.
I think I'm going to pass on your taters this morning.
Yeah.
That's good because I don't got none left.
Don't want that much starch.
Bag of
in
potato
it.
chips.
Yep.
Open it up.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you have all of our food we found.
Huh? What was that?
He's the old food, yeah.
I'm gonna crack open some of the can of cram.
Yep, it's
then
just spam.
Yeah. And just cut me slices from like the
It's
things.
really delicious. It's salty and no radiation.
Right.
All right, so potato crisps, cram,
Yep.
Dandy boy apples.
dandy boy apples,
Ooh.
All right. I'm going to do a cram as well.
and Patrick's gonna eat a cram. So you guys you're kind of just like standing around outside, like kind of, boot sole deep in mud, and just kind of quietly eating your food and just staring at each other because you had that really great moment that was disturbed by Phil's tale of the NCR. Once you're all done eating, you pack up your things again and start going along the old rail line, walking along.
Patrick, how long do you think we got?
Oh, it's not long now, Phil.
Yeah, you said you've been up this way a couple of times. Anything along the way? Berries, nuts?
Well, I got some more food, so don't worry about that.
I'm just thinking as we're going along the way, we do a little foraging.
Well, I think right now we really need to just get there, and there's a lot to eat around there, so we can forage a little bit once we figure out what's going on with the loggers.
If you want to forage, you'll have to stop. You can't forage while on the move.
Oh, okay.
And you'll have to take several hours devoted to foraging.
That's why I was asking if it was along the way. Like blackberry patches.
Is foraging a perception survivals check?
It is survival. I don't know which special stat it uses, but
Gotcha.
yes, it is survival.
Yeah, we'll just go.
All right. You guys walk along the old track. The Great River flows to your guys' right as the rail line curves around it. The forest starts to get thicker. The canopy becomes more consistent. This area seems to be less touched by the radiation. You see a couple signs of human activity. You see a signpost that says Logging Camp 12 hanging from the trail. You know you're close.
There you go, Phil. See, it's not far.
I'm not going to say anything.
It's been about an hour since you guys left your tree. You guys come along. The path to your left starts to open up. To your right is the Great River, and to your left, up the slope, is a clearing. A man-made clearing with tree stumps all sparsed around. And in the middle, you see a collection of wood shacks, temporary homes that have been built for the loggers. Some maybe have wood posts but have corrugated tin for the sidewalls. It is dead quiet and no one is here. You guys have made it to the logging camp.
Okay, cool. So, Zeke is going to pick up his pace. He's going to start like a limp hop down to the shacks.
Up to
the shacks.
the slope to your left.
A limp hop up to the shacks.
So you guys see Zeke break into a trot and start running up the hill. He maybe stumbles for a second as it's muddy ground this morning, and he keeps climbing up.
I'm coming, Pa.
Zeke, hold up now, Zeke. Just because a cat put her kittens in the oven don't make them biscuits.
Where the fuck do you get these? They're so good.
You got to be careful. This could be a setup now.
Would you quit talking gibberish? Come on, let's go.
Zeke, hold up now. Something doesn't feel right about this situation. We need to take it slow.
I would assume by now we would have seen someone.
Yeah, fine. You don't want to come? Phil, let's go.
As he's running up, I'll pick up my pace and kind of like help Zeke up. And I'm going to look back and tell those two, make sure you check the surroundings. Nothing moving out, in. And I'm going to pick you up. It's like, come on, we'll check inside.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll kind of let them go forward, but I'm going to make sure that I'm sort of canvassing the buildings that we're passing. I want to kind of look down the alleys, just make sure there's, No signs of any sort of ambush or any kind of previous conflict that may have taken the loggers out of duty, but something to me doesn't seem right because there's no signs of a struggle here.
Well, you haven't gotten close enough yet.
Okay.
This is all from the bottom.
Okay.
So, Phil, where are you at?
I'm walking currently with Patrick.
Perfect. And you're kind of walking up casually?
I'm following them, but I'm not. I want to cover them in the event that they
Stumble into something.
Yeah.
So the two of you then, I'll describe this, and all four of you take this information as if you're seeing it as well. It's just for role playing, the two of you see this first. You guys approach the camp. It's about mid-slope. You see that there's a couple trees that have been fallen that are laying there waiting to be slid into the Great River. A couple more have a couple axe cuts in them where they were working, and at the base of the tree, the axes are just dropped. There's 3 shacks. All of the doors are just open. One of the shacks is collapsed. And on another tree is a scar of 3 large claw marks going down the side of the tree. And there's a blood stain at the base of it.
What would I need to roll to identify that claw mark?
Intelligence survival.
Could I try that?
You can. And anyone else, as you walk up, you all see the same scene.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 2 8s, 2 successes. I needed 10.
Perfect.
One success.
DC is 1, so you get 1 action point back. And the two of you know this is a death claw.
Zeke is in full panic now.
You're gonna see Lex immediately stop and hands against your chest as he's like.
Fortunately, he's going to push you away.
Yeah.
Push your arm down and rush past you into one of the shacks.
Yeah. Before the other team kind of comes up, he's gonna turn. Quiet now, Deathclaw.
Wait, you see one?
As you walk, you both kind of stop and you can see what they're looking at. And you can see that the camp has been partly destroyed and there's a large 3 claws going down the length of one of these giant trees. And blood squirted across where that claw mark was.
Zeke is whisper yelling, "Pa! Pa, where you at?"
Quiet.
Lex would pull out his last pistol and kind of quickly start looking around.
Yeah.
He's going to... Are the shacks set up in kind of a crescent shape, or...
They're all next to each other. All the doors are facing towards a communal cooking spot.
Copy that. So he'll kind of direct Patrick and Bell. He's like, stay in the open. And he's going to start trying to check around the buildings, the one that's swinging open, just real quick, check-ins,
Perfect.
lean-ins. He's going to try to be stealthy about it if he can.
Yeah. What are the 3 others doing?
I am checking all of the shacks. Yes.
Okay.
I'm watching at this point.
You're on lookout?
Mm-hmm.
I like to think me and Phil are just kind of walking up the road behind Lex and Zeke. And I'm still leading Belle by the reins, but I'm terribly worried about her right now. And I'm considering having her run off, but I don't think that's a good idea because it'll be like a cat chasing a ball of yarn at this point.
So, everyone please take a perception survival test for me.
1 success.
Can I spend an action point to reroll?
You can spend a luck point to reroll.
Action point has to be spent when you make the roll.
Does it, or is it just the luck?
It has to be before. Luck allows for the reroll. Action points can be spent to add dice to the pool.
No, it's going to suck for you guys.
Yep.
And me. I did get a 20.
So, and Josh?
No, nobody.
1 success.
So everyone got failed besides Phil, who got 1 success. Well, the DC was 1, so you make it. Everyone else
Bravo.
fails. Phil, you're standing around, looking around. You can see at the top of the clear cut, further up the slope, you can see where a group of people probably bushwhacked it up the hill and ran away. So whenever this Deathclaw attacked, the loggers probably fled uphill. You can see their trail leading away. But on top of that, you see an even bigger trail on top of that following them. As you're kind of seeing that at the top of the slope, you hear... As all these pots and pans come tumbling over, you can see Lex is looking through one of the shacks, and he opened the door into one of the shelves that just collapsed as all these pots and pans and cooking utensils come clattering down.
I draw my gun. Turn.
You're going to see Lex immediately start shit! As he kind of starts putting the last pistol down on one.
What's going on, Lex? What's going on?
What is it?
Safety on. Just damn pots fell out.
So nobody's here.
I can't see anything. This looks like a mess.
Zeke's going to go check out the blood splatter at the base of the tree with the claw mark. See if there's any signs of clothing or anything left over.
So, gentlemen over here, I got a good luck, bad luck kind of thing going on. I noticed we got a trail heading up the hill. Bunch of people. Probably the loggers. On the downside, it looks like the Deathclaw followed. You can see the trail right here.
Is there anywhere in town, like, we could leave Belle kind of tied up that's somewhat confined?
You mean at that camp?
Well, yeah.
The 3-shack camp?
not
2-shack, right? Because he collapsed one of the shacks.
No wooden wall's going to hold out a Deathclaw, but maybe if...
Well, you know that further down the rail line, there's the old Staffman Ferry that goes directly to the town of Staffman that you guys have been kind of circling this whole time. The Staffman Ferry, during the summer months, the river is low enough to where people could just cross it. There's an old concrete bridge, but during the wintertime, you have to take a boat across, and the town of Staffman normally has a boat there with a person that could maybe get you across to the town, but that's further, a little further south of here.
Okay. We'll hang on to her for now, but I am a little bit worried. Deathclaw loves to prey upon Brahmin.
Yeah.
Pat, you've been here before.
Yeah, it wasn't a Deathclaw last time I was here.
Yeah, but if you've been here before, what's up the hill?
The loggers have a holdout.
Some must be here.
Yeah. What is up the hill? I don't know. Yeah, never been up there before. Can't say.
Yeah, there's no reason you'd be further up the hill. You've never heard of anything. You would assume that they were running.
Yeah, but those loggers ain't no fools. They knew what they were doing.
They knew where they were going.
Is the tree fall going up the hill, or is it still hale and healthy trees?
The clear cut goes about a third way up the hill, and then it's healthy trees beyond there, and their trail goes into the healthy trees further uphill, and then you can't see where any further it goes. But you guys got a little bit of a decision to make here.
So, Patrick, since you've been here before, I've got another question for you. How do they get the trees down to the river? Block and tackle? Or do they have animals like Brahma?
Have I seen Brahmin hauling logs here?
They usually do have a pack of Brahmin, but wherever those Brahmin are now, they're not here.
Yeah. Brahmin are good for everything, Phil. They can haul logs, they can haul food, they can haul...
So wait a minute. So what I'm getting at is the Brahmin should be around somewhere.
Well, I wouldn't say that now. They also make good eating.
Look at Zeke. The lumberers aren't going to eat their work
Oh,
animals.
no, I'm not talking about the lumberers now.
Lex?
While they're having this discussion, I want to continue to search. Maybe there's like a map or something that they might have that's like, hey, in case of emergency, run to...
A fire escape evacuation.
You never know. You never know.
We ran up the hill and left.
So I'll give you another perception survival test.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. You can't find just garbage.
Yep.
It's all left over. It seems like you'll probably need a little bit more firepower if you want to take down
maybe
this
a little
thing.
more luck.
Is there... I got my stuff ready.
So what would I do if I spent a luck?
You can ask me a question.
And he has to answer truthfully. But
Okay.
he doesn't have to give you the full truth.
Correct.
During my search, was there anything else that was useful? Not just like the map. Is there anything at all?
Yeah. If you want to take time, you guys can scavenge here.
Oh, okay.
This is a location of scavenging. There's also some workbenches
Oh,
where they worked on their tools and things here.
Spending a luck.
Okay.
Is there a known retreat or hideout nearby that the loggers or lumberjacks would know about?
Zeke, when you were a kid, stayed up a little late in the house, and your dad was downstairs drinking with his buddies, and you overheard that it is not uncommon for the loggers, when they're out for weeks on end, to set up distilleries to make moonshine.
Okay.
And that night, when you stayed up late and were listening to your pa when you shouldn't have been, you heard him mention that him and a couple buddies just set up a new still just above logging camp 12 in Old Cave.
Okay. Phil, I remember. I remember one night I overheard Pa talking about a distillery him and his friends set up.
That's not, well, I mean, it's going to be good for your leg, but that's not going to help us.
No, not that, Phil. It was nearby. He said it
it's
was
up
nearby by Camp 12.
I mean, fire works on almost anything. I think it would do well against the death claw, and alcohol burns. But you have no idea which way.
I mean, them loggers ain't no fools. They must have been running towards something.
It's a good point. As soon as we get Patrick refocused, we should head up the hill.
again, while I've just been searching, I see a workbench, realizing there's going to be a death claw. What type of workbenches would we find around here?
They have, for work on their saw blades or their axe heads, they have a weapons workbench.
Okay. Would I be able to, because I had some junk, would I be able to upgrade my weapon, if that would be possible?
Absolutely, yeah. You could take the time here.
Okay. I'd like to try to make 2 modifications to my last pistol.
Okay.
Because I do have science and armor.
So is this, where'd you get these crafting materials from?
Oh, the junk that I was given. I would imagine during that long period of when we weren't talking to each other in the place, just kind of pulling the fans and stuff apart, pulling like the chains of things, just taking what looks salvageable from everything that we kind of scavenged back in the beginning.
Perfect. And how many pieces of crafting material did you get?
I was able to get 12 pieces of common material.
Okay. So, and the cost of each of these is?
Cost of the two things I want to make are a short scope, which is complexity 2, so it should be 3 common materials.
Okay.
And then I'm hoping to make a beta wave tuner, which will hopefully enhance the power of my guns.
So why don't you roll for that scope first for me?
Okay. So this should be, it looks like it's a repair skill. Intelligence repair. 2 6s.
Ooh. So that's 2 successes?
2 successes.
And the DC was 2, right?
Yep.
So you successfully attach the scope to your las pistol.
Let me get this clear. All of our salvage gets hoovered up by Lex. He doesn't say anything about what he's doing with any of it. And then next time he pulls his laser pistol out, it's all bulked up with salvage.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to just be okay with this.
I'm going to spend an action point to really upgrade this because I want to guarantee.
And he refuses to do work on our stuff. Just so we're clear about what's going on here.
I mean, he hasn't refused any work.
I haven't refused. You haven't asked, and I haven't offered. Can I?
You get that luck, baby girl.
Can I spend a luck to reroll?
Yep. Reroll 1 die.
And I would like to point out that Lex has offered to upgrade those things we can't upgrade, like our tough clothing.
2 successes.
What'd you roll?
I got a 7 for 1, and then 11, and then I have an 8 and a 4.
My point is when we need the
9,
junk,
10,
it's not going to
11,
be there
12,
anymore. He didn't even ask us, like, hey, can I use your guys' share? He was just like,
Nope.
oh, it's all mine, because I'm the only one that can do anything with it. But you don't know
There's
that.
there's
all
salvage
junk.
parts left.
Yeah.
There's things there.
You only used a portion of the junk
I
pile.
used 6 of the pieces.
So you successfully attached the beta wave emitter to your laser pistol along with your scope that you've now added to your laser pistol. So you've added some modifications to your laser pistol.
I did.
So the 4 of you are standing in the logging camp. Lex is currently over at the old logging workbench. You see him fiddling around with a screwdriver, working on something with his laser pistol. Patrick, you're walking around the camp, trying to turn over things for any clues. Phil, you're assessing to see if there's any bodies. There's no one around other than that trail leading away. And frankly, Zeke, you're pretty worried about your father.
I am pacing back and forth.
What's the plan, everyone?
I'm sort of counting my shotgun shells from my pocket, putting them back in there.
Well, look, I haven't been up here before, but my feeling is we go towards the still, we create Molotovs, we burn that goddamn thing down. Hopefully find the men up there as well.
Are you having this conversation while I'm working?
Yes.
Yeah, essentially, as you'll see him kind of like look up. Solid plan.
Now, Phil, I know you've been around for quite a while, and I think you know better than it'll take more than a campfire to stop a deathclaw.
Well, that's true. That's why I was also mentioning the possibility of the men being up there too.
Yeah. Now, I think those men know that too. And it could be that they've cordoned themselves off somewhere that the creature can't quite reach, but we're not going to be able to get there. I'm going to look at my shotgun shells. With the level of firepower we brought along with us.
All right, you've got a better idea?
Yeah, what do you suggest there, Patrick?
They're not far from here. Might find it hard to believe there's actually a ferry that'll take us into Staffman Town. Let's just scout it out. I know it's going to take us a little while longer, but if this was a Deathclaw attack and your father didn't get away, I can assure you, Zeke, he's dead already. Taking a little while longer now might give us the means to help unhold them from wherever they found themselves backed into.
You just said he was dead. What are you talking about?
I didn't say he was dead. How would I know if he's dead, Phil? I said if
Exactly.
he was gonna
Then
be.
why did you say it?
Oh, Zeke, now, you got a lot to learn about the world, and I understand that, but if your father was dead, wouldn't we be seeing a lot of body parts strewn about here, like blood all over the walls? You know, we would be seeing some sort
No,
of
he
damage.
could be dead up. Sorry, Zeke, but he could be dead up the hill too.
You guys hear a bzzwing as you see the glowing from my new las pistol. Look it. We came here to rescue men or bring back corpses. And we ain't doing that talking. So, do you got something you want me to fix up?
We're
or-
not talking, Lex. We planning here. You got to take a little moment to strategize. You can't just go running in all willy-nilly.
And I gotta agree with Patrick about that. But how long's the Staffman Ferry going to take us? And what do you think we're going to get down there that's going to take out a Deathclaw?
Yeah, so by my estimation,
Tank.
how long would it take us to get to staffmen from here, and it is early in the day because we just went through the night.
It'll take about an hour.
Yeah.
To get to the town. The ferry is only a few, like a short walk further south along the rail.
And when you say ferry, are we talking about somebody's putting up and down the river, or are we taking a raft?
It's like a raft. It's a flat.
What does it matter if it gets across the river without
Well,
going
but-
back to the bridge? We just need to get over there and back. Maybe we can see what they got. Maybe we can bring along some hired help. You never know what they got in town that could help us out of this dire situation. But it's foolish. It's as foolish as putting lipstick on a ghoul. No offense. No offense now, Phil. It's just a saying. It's foolish to just run in there and get ourselves killed by the same death claw that might be pinning up these loggers. We need to do something. We need to be better than that, Phil.
I understand. Pretty worthless putting lipstick on a ghoul. I get it. Ha
Look, they're either held up at that distillery you've been talking about,
Well, they're already dead.
and either we're going to go up there and cause some fireworks, scare it off, get it out of here.
Scare off a Deathclaw.
That
Wait.
distiller-
Now that you're putting it that way, it's not a bad idea taking the, I'm not sure I want to call it a ferry, but taking the raft downriver, and then we can raft back up.
Then you two cowards
It's not
can head
downriver,
on out.
It's cross river.
We'll take care of it.
It's wide, not long now, Phil. It don't take a long time to get over there.
Either way we're going, we're gonna have to push paddle something.
Look, boys, we're in over our head here. It'd be about as foolish as a ghoul trying to get a suntan.
All right now.
For us to continue along this line.
I like that this is Patrick's passive-aggressive way of slinging insults at people. It's such a businessman way to do things.
How do you come up with these, Josh? It's just amazing. All right.
So we need to regroup, get our resources together, and we need to make one good shot at this. For everybody's sake.
I mean, an hour, Zeke. He's right.
And what would they have there that could help us?
Now, they got a pretty decent market. They got some weaponry, some bigger weaponry than we're carrying.
Whoa, wait. We've forgotten something. I mean, you ain't carrying that many taters, right?
No,
Toes.
now, if there's a death claw, though, right across the river from Staffman, these guys might be willing to give up a little charity. Now, I can talk a buzzard off of a garbage can. Just give me a chance now, Phil.
I'm in. You've sold me.
Off record, this is his Louisiana upbringing.
Holy shit!
This is you guys. This is his life growing up eating crawdads and just listening to family talk massive crap.
So fucking good.
Oh, this is why I want to go. I want to go to Louisiana. This is exactly the type of thing.
It's amazing.
You know what? I think if they're held up in there tight. I think they can hold off for another couple hours. Mr. Patrick, if you really think what we can find over there can help us.
I really do.
And if you think you could pay for them to come across with us.
Now, I'm not promising to fund any expeditions now. I'm just saying there might be a chance that we can get some help over there and we could do some negotiating, some wheeling and dealing. See what we can do. I think it'll be worth the time, though.
Excellent. And we had that large pile of common goods that we found that we might be able to trade. It was a pretty good sized pile.
All that salvage, yeah. That might come in
You just hear
handy.
shh. Is this even a same clan? This other town? It's a different clan, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's the Staffman clan.
Yeah, they have no
Good
loyalty.
terms.
Yeah, they're your neighbors. There's often trade with them.
Okay.
They're a little bit weird that they worship a staff. They call it the boom staff, and they worship it.
Cool.
That's why everyone calls them the Staffmen.
Ah, I see. The boom staff. All right. Are we going to steal their idol and use it as a weapon?
Now, I didn't say that before you did.
Everyone heard it.
So we know that was Zeke's idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea if we can do it.
All right.
So,
moving.
Lexian,
He's gonna kind of look at each of you individually and then kind of stop at Zeke. I'm willing to stay here and scout it out for you, but this is gonna take me some more work to fine tune this. You're talking about
Lex.
You're talking about a 2-hour travel.
I appreciate it, but it's too dangerous to stay here alone.
Yeah. Lex is not happy about this. This is a terrible waste of time.
Neither is it.
It's a raft. We could bring one of them tables with us.
Put the table in between the drum and just me working. He'll kind of like stop. All right, but I think we double time it.
Let's move.
That means, all right, you'll have to show me how we're going to double time the raft. I say we go.
All right.
Patrick, lead on.
Okay, so in the rules, there's actually a rule for traveling very quickly, like pushing yourselves. So that's what I want to do. I want to lead us down to that path. I don't know if it requires a roll or not, but I think it does, and try to get there in its half the time it would normally take.
Yeah, it's down a hill. There's an easy way to do that.
Yeah.
Roll.
Yeah, I might need you guys to roll the
Brahmin.
We ride the Brahmin.
So someone needs to take the lead. It's perception survival.
Oof.
Okay.
So it's good
yeah.
for me to do it, but because Patrick is the only one that knows where we're going, it does not make sense for us to artificially
So maybe y'all can
game the rules.
Maybe y'all
It's
can
going to be
assist.
Patrick.
Everyone can
Can-
assist, though.
Yeah, how does that work?
You roll a single d20 based on that same skill, perception, survival, and if you get a success, you add it to his.
Yep, let's help him. This is Lex actively not being a team player.
Yeah, I fail.
No, 0.
Maybe it's that way. No, it's this way, you guys. I'm telling you, I've been here before.
Why don't you roll as well there, Patrick? So this is, you take a survival test to see if you guys can make better time to the Staffman Ferry.
Oh, 1 success.
Unfortunately, the DC is 2 because this is not a clear trail.
Yeah. Man.
So you don't make any better time.
I thought you said it was a shorter path, Patrick.
It was, but now Lex keeps pointing out things that have nothing to do with this path.
We passed the same tree we hid in twice.
Yeah, that's something important
There's
on the path.
thousands of trees out here. Some of them are going to look the same.
All right,
Just stop
again, not
bickering.
necessarily agreeing with him, but Lex is pretty much right. It's got the same marks in it, the one that he made the last time we came by.
I just imagine there's other dead travelers in an exact same tree in the exact same.
All right, now just keep quiet and let me concentrate here. It should be right up this way.
So you continue to follow Patrick's lead. About half an hour of at a jog going along the old rail. The rail kind of, at the whole time the rail has been parallel to the Great River, has been higher up. But the rail line starts to get lower and lower until it's almost level, and there's a large sandbar off to the right, and an old dirt railroad crossing here. And you can see the dirt road leads directly into the water and disappears. You understand that this is probably where the concrete bridge would be if the water was lower. However, currently, there's a large metal cable that goes across the river. And at your end is a large raft, pretty wide, with 2 metal rods that go up with rings that connect to the cable and allow people to cross the Great River.
All right, I'd say we load up.
Get Bell on here.
Patrick,
how sturdy does
when
it
you come
look?
across, has there been a fee for using the ferry? And I've got the air quotes going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if somebody's going to carry you across, but I think we'll be doing all the work ourselves here.
Yeah, so you can see that, I forgot to describe this, in between the 2 rods that connect to the cable, there's a crank system that one person on that can operate. There's also a rope that's attached to the tree that you can see is kind of just slack right now to allow people to pull it across if they're on the wrong side.
Yeah, Zeke's going to wait for everyone to get on board and start cranking away.
Tarnation, I ain't seen anyone down at the ferry in years. I
help-
got peoples.
I'll help Belle get on and situate in if we can strap her down or at least make her stable.
Yeah, no, you can try to ease her, but she steps on, the whole raft kind of sags a little bit. It's meant to support Brahmin.
Yeah.
They use it to bring Brahmin to the fields and whatnot.
Mind your hoofs there now, Bill.
Come on now, hold her still.
And you guys start cranking it. The raft starts crossing the river. The river's flowing. It's kind of a pretty good flow going. And as you guys are crossing, you can all take a perception test. Perception survival for me.
Damn. 1 success, 1.
Complication.
0 for me.
Crit success.
So
Two.
I just need number of
Two.
success.
Oh, that is also a crit for, but it's not attack. Never mind.
So 1, 2, 2, 0.
0.
Yours is a complication. As you guys cross, you understand that just on the other side of the Great River is going to be the town of Staffman. Above the tree line, ahead of you, you can see black smoke billowing.
Is that from the shoreline, not from the city? Or does it appear to be coming from the city?
Beyond the trees. It's coming from the town.
Oh, no.
And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Oh no! Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to comment on our podcasts or email us directly at ncrpproductions@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Seegson Employees of the Month, F.S., Michael H., Michael P., and our Breaker of Seals, the Jones, Frank H., Christopher C., Matthew K., and the Lab. Trademarked. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.